Thank you, everyone, for organizing this session and being here. The topics are very interesting, and I hope these are conversations that we continue amongst us, because that's how change happens. It starts with a conversation. So let's talk a little bit about fashion and climate change. Fashion isn't just an outlet for creativity. It's not just an outlet for self-expression. Fashion, whether we realize it or not, touches us daily. You don't leave the house, hopefully, without putting some clothes on. It's also a lot of people's source of livelihood. In fact, 1 out of every 6 people in the world is employed in the global fashion industry. So it impacts workers, it impacts consumers, it also impacts the environment. Sadly, the effect on the environment, the impact on the environment is negative. Actually, fashion is the second largest industrial polluter. It contributes more than 10% of global greenhouse emissions, and it's the largest water pollutant. Just to put that in context, it emits more carbon dioxide than the aviation and shipping industry combined. We're basically using the Earth's resources to have affordable products that bring us what? Comfort, novelty, variety, but at what cost? The outcome of this, of producing fashion, basically is a series of activities that fits into the linear economy of take, make, and then waste. We take from this Earth's natural resources, we make them into items we use, and then we waste them. So let's talk about the different material that goes into clothing. Let me start with natural materials. The word natural is usually associated with something that is green, that is organic, that is, good for the environment. That's just greenwashing. Actually, let's talk about cotton, for example. Cotton is a huge agricultural pollutant. Just to manufacture it, just to grow it, we have to use enormous amounts of water. One cotton t-shirt uses up around more than 1 year worth of drinking water for several families. And as if that's not enough, growing cotton uses more than 16% of the world's pesticides. Of course, most of these pesticides seep into water, causing a reduction in oxygen, and indirectly affects the soil and then increases the methane that animals release into the environment. So that's the natural fibers. The synthetic fibers is another story. More than 62% of the clothes we wear contain polyester at large amounts. Polyester is actually just a nice word for oil. You're wearing oil. Your clothes are made of oil. You have a toxic material sitting on your skin day in, day out. Polyester is basically a result of a chemical reaction between coal, petroleum, air, and water. That's what polyester is. So just making it creates so much pollution. And getting rid of it is a big problem because it's non-biodegradable. It means it doesn't go back naturally to the earth. Maintaining it is even more expensive because every time we wash or clean our clothes, it releases tiny microplastics. So if you eat fish and seafood on a regular basis, you are eating a credit card's equivalent worth of plastic in your body. So just the plastic, no credit, no additional value to you. So this is, this is the making part of the clothes. Previously, 30 years ago, the process from designing, sourcing, and manufacturing up until stocking in stores would take 3 months short of 2 years. And that's why brands had 2 seasons a year, spring, summer, fall, and winter. Now, and you can all think of brands that do that, brands release what they call as 52 seasons per year. That process is down from 21 months to 1 week. They're not 52 seasons, they're weeks. They're just every week, something new, come into the store, buy, let's create it, let's make it cheap, and let's put it in front of the customer so that they're addicted to that dopamine hit every time they buy something. So what happens to these cheap clothes? They don't last. And that's the worst thing. That's the worst part of also getting rid of clothes. We end up throwing them away because they're cheap, and we have that desire for something new and different every time. So even if you don't throw out your clothes, even those people who think they're donating their clothes, the fact remains that 85% of clothes that we get rid of end up in landfills. And that's a huge problem because and we already said these are non-biodegradable. So they take more than 200 years to decompose, if at all. And while they're sitting in landfills, they're releasing chemicals into the atmosphere, and they're releasing chemical dyes into the soil and groundwater that we have. So it impacts the whole ecosystem negatively. In fact, a truckload of garments is thrown out every second worldwide. The second problem, if they don't end up in landfills, which, by the way, at the rate we're going, are going to be clogged by 2050, so in 30 years, we incinerate clothes. Incinerating clothes is equally bad, if not even worse, because it releases another host of greenhouse emissions, such as carbon dioxide. Now, here's the good news. So we have the knowledge today and the tools to build an economy that is fit for the 21st century. Instead of a linear economy where we take, make, and waste, we can have a circular economy where each part of the fashion system is redesigned to minimize waste and pollution. Now, this is where we can all contribute. Of course, every element includes a rethinking of the way we approach things. Even the way we consume is actually a design flaw that could be harnessed. From a personal point of view, from a consumer point of view, it's as simple as give more life to the items that you wear. It's as simple as this. We always say, the most sustainable option is the item of clothes already sitting in your closet. So instead of take, make, waste, why not just rent, wear, and repeat? So as consumers, we can agree that we do not need a one-to-one relationship with clothes. To get more usage out of them, we can ensure that it doesn't end up in a landfill within the first year of production. More than 65% of new clothes are in those landfills. We can have a one-to-many relationship. Alternatively, you can give more life to an outfit by buying secondhand. So you can do all of this without compromising your desire on newness and variety. And in fact, it's quite empowering to have access to a never-ending closet full of luxury clothes. So at Naz, what we try to do is to redefine access to fashion so that you can, in turn, redefine your statement and what your clothes say about you. So by changing the way you access fashion, you can choose a more conscious and mindful way, a way that is more gentle to this good earth. Thank you. And feel free to direct message us on our Instagram account. We will share with you your fashion calculator, what's your impact or what's your carbon footprint based on your fashion habits. Thank you.
Thank you.